Hi, I'm James Hook, and thanks very much to Waterstones for allowing me to take part in this question and answer. And thanks very much for so many of your questions via social media and via email. I'll try and answer as many as I can, as best as I can, and here goes. I don't know if scared is the right word, but I suppose you got nervous sometimes when you got bigger players. I played against big players like Bastero, who's the French centre, an enormous centre. Sonny Bill Williams, who were a lot bigger than me. But yeah, sometimes you get a little bit nervous, but I suppose when you're in the heat of the battle, you just sort of get stuck in and do your best. The book is a middle grade book from the age of 8 right through to 80 years old, really. It's a book we feel for all ages, and a book that the whole family can enjoy. My favourite books when I was younger, I enjoyed Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, all the Mr. Men books, so I loved the Mr. Men series. And as I got a little bit older then, I enjoyed Blood Brothers. I enjoyed going to watch the plays in theatres in London as well, so but obviously that was when I got a little bit older. I played with some great players over the years, and probably the best player and most exciting player I played with for the Ospreys and Wales is Shane Williams. I've had so many people who've sort of inspired me throughout my rugby career and my life in general, and probably from the start really, my grandparents who feature heavily in the book, Will and Betty, were a massive inspiration to me during my rugby career and outside of my rugby career. My eldest son, Harrison, actually, it was when I was playing my rugby in Gloucester. After he'd finished school one day, there was a book fair, and he really wanted a rugby book to take home with him for children. I simply couldn't find one there. I looked on the internet, couldn't find one, so it just got me thinking. Obviously, being from Wales and rugby mad as well, there's an opportunity to write a children's novel, and got in touch with Dave Brayley, who's a children's author, through a friend of ours called Mal Pope, and he was on the same page, and we got right in pretty much straight away, and we had the publisher Polaris, run by Pete Burns, who backed us, and yeah, it went from there. So yeah, just thrilled it sort of came to fruition. I think I've played in some great stadiums over the years, and the best one is by far the Principality Stadium in Cardiff with 74,000 fans. The stadium right on top of you, the atmosphere, especially when the roof is closed, by far my favourite stadium. That's a really good question, and I've got 3 boys myself, and I can relate to this question because my eldest boy, Harrison, he is very competitive, and I remember when he was 5 years old, I'd be out in the garden with him, whether it was rugby or football, whatever I was playing. He didn't like it when I let him win, but if I did win, he'd kick off as well. So you couldn't win, you'd be out in the garden for hours sometimes trying to finish the game, and on the odd occasion I'd end up beating him in rugby or football, whatever it was, and he wouldn't be happy, and then he wouldn't want to score the winning try because he'd want to be out there for hours. So I can definitely relate to that question, but I think in terms of a team sport, they have to not learn to lose, but lose gracefully if you like, and learn to shake hands and do the right thing, and come back and get them again next week. I think the 2008 Grand Slam was definitely the best moment. Some great memories and moments in the game, but 2008 was my first Grand Slam, and to be involved in such a big tournament and winning it sort of so early on in my career was amazing, and I was lucky enough to win another Grand Slam later on, but that's definitely one that stands out, along with probably getting selected for the British Lions as well. The hardest game in my career, I've had a few tough games, I got to be honest, but Wales-Fiji, probably 2007 World Cup, was a really brutal game for us. You know, we lost the game. If we'd won the game, we would have gone on to the quarterfinals, but probably unexpectedly from our point of view, we lost the game. And Fiji, rightly so, deservedly won the game. But in terms of how physical Fiji were, how quick they were, how fast and strong, and just took us completely by surprise. And yeah, come off that field knowing we were in a heck of a battle. So definitely that game. Yes and no, I suppose, is the answer to that. There's definitely a lot of parts of Jimmy that reflect my rugby career and my life off the rugby pitch. And like I say, it's a fictional book, so there are some fictional parts to Jimmy and the rest of the story, but there's definitely things in there that can relate to Jimmy. Yeah, well, definitely one more. We contracted to 2 books, and hopefully if these 2 go really well, we definitely have aspirations to write more books, so hopefully yes is the answer to that. Yeah, yes, I was captain throughout my junior rugby, and actually I went to watch Peter Pan or Captain Hook in the cinema, and his name was Captain James Hook, and when I first watched that I thought the film was about me, but obviously it wasn't. And yeah, I have been called Captain James Hook quite a few times, especially in my younger days. Yeah. As you can imagine, I've probably played against some really tough players and tough opponents. Uh, One that springs to mind is Bakkies Botha, the South African Springbok second row, a really big, hard bloke. Also played with some really hard blokes as well in terms of physicality. Philo Tia, another one that springs to mind. Played in the Ospreys for a good few years, and yeah, he's a tough old opponent. If he said it's Friday, no doubt about that.